Hello, my name is Karina, and welcome back to the Paranormal edition of Talkin Talons. For episode 3, we will be covering stories from Coach G and Coach Cavazos.
Hello, my name is D Cavazos. I'm a CTE teacher here at Mission High School, and I got a couple of ghost stories here for you. Very first story takes me back to 1995. I am a 5th grader at O'Grady Elementary. However, I am sleeping over at a friend's house on Washington Street. Now, Washington Street is close by Kenneth White Junior High. It's on the other side of the street that's there, the main road. It's a big neighborhood, a young neighborhood, and it's about 8 o'clock at night, and we have an idea to play hide and go seek outdoors. So about 3 or 4 of us are going to be it and counting off, and about 15-20 kids are going to disperse and run and hide. And as kids, no cell phones, that's just how we played back then. So I remember distinctly being it, unquote unquote. Have my head up against a wall, and I'm counting to 20, as a couple of other kids next to me are counting to 20 as well. 3 of us, I think, me being the third one. And we're getting to, 18, 19, 20, and I turn around from counting, and I see a kid standing there with his back to me in a white shirt, blue jeans, and he's really close to me, and he looks younger than me. I would say maybe a 2nd grader, 1st grader. I'm about 5th grade, and he takes off running, and to me, it's so silly because he had 20 seconds to run. Why is he still there? So he's running off about 5 feet in front of me. So I take off in chase, and I'm trying to get a little closer, and he's keeping the same distance away from me. He goes in between 2 houses further down, and there's tall grass up ahead. And I am, again, about 5 feet away from him, telling him, hey, I see you, stop. I'm just trying to touch him just because that's the name of the game. You're trying to tag the guy who's hiding. And when the kid gets to the grass, he instantly just ducks into the tall grass. And I'm like, well, that's so silly. Why would he be hiding? I saw the whole thing. So I, about 2 seconds later, go right behind him and I say, I got you. And when I touch the floor, there was nobody there. So I listen, and I'm like, he's got to be crawling around. Let me hear the grass rustling because they're going to be moving here. And I'm listening, and there's nothing. And then when I look and realize where I'm at, I'm standing in the old cemetery that used to be in Mission. The cemetery that you have now is the 2nd location. My grandmother told me years ago that right there on the other side of K. White, on the other side of the street, there was the original cemetery in the 1920s and 30s. And when I realized where I was, when I realized what I saw or didn't see, and I realized that I think I just saw a ghost, the hairs on the back of your head stand up. An eerie feeling comes over you. So I turn and I go back to the group of kids. And when I get there, everybody's telling me, where were you? Like, what do you mean, where was I? I was like, I was over there. I was like, we were calling you. You've been gone for like 5-10 minutes. Where were you? I'm like, guys, I've been gone for a minute. What are you talking about? Like, again, this is no cell phone time, guys. This is 1995. I had no way of seeing what time it was or how long I really was gone for. But according to my friends, when I came back, I had been gone and they had been looking for me. And I told them I would chase somebody over there, but there was nothing there. Nobody believed me. Everybody thought I was just making things up. But that's my story on seeing a ghost on Washington Street as a child, I believe, playing hide and seek, and it led me right to an old cemetery. Can't explain much more than that. That was my scary story in 1995. Now, second story happens a little older. The year is 1999. I am a freshman in high school. I'm about to be a freshman. I'm in 8th grade going into freshman year. And I go over to sleep at another friend's house, and his older brother has a Ouija board. If you don't know what a Ouija board is, according to the game, you and a friend touch a triangular shaped little glass. And as you ask the board questions, it will answer your questions. Now, the fun part of that game is you think your friend's moving around. Your friend thinks you're moving it around. Kind of unexplainable how things work with that game, quote unquote. But we were playing, asking it very trivial questions. Are we going to be rich and famous? Are we going to, make it out of the valley? What kind of a job we're going to have? We're asking the Ouija board these questions, and it's giving us some answers, some weird ones, some truth, some things that we figured might be true or not. But yeah, after being there for about an hour, we decided, hey, well, let's go get something to eat. Come right back. So we leave the board, go to the other room, go to the kitchen, make ourselves some drinks, some food, get some chips, and we're like, okay, well, let's go back to the room. About 5 minutes of being outside of the room that we were in, when we walked back in, we quickly saw that someone had gone in and absolutely destroyed the room inside. This was a bedroom. We had drawers pulled out, clothes was thrown everywhere. We had a TV that was suddenly turned on and pushed like it was about to fall off the cabinet. You had just things were out of place, as if somebody went in and just was looking for something. Now, we had an older brother that was there, but he wasn't in the house when that happened. We found him outside doing some work in the back, and he went in and had the same shocked face as we did, so we could tell when he was playing a trick on us or not. I quickly panicked, guys. I ran out of that house. I never slept back in my friend's house. I was able to call my mom to pick me up. Didn't tell her that story that we were playing the Ouija board, but I just told her, no, I didn't feel like sleeping over that night. And could not explain, guys, how in 5 minutes the room was just turned over. There was just no really explaining anybody going in there. The room was down the hall. We would have seen somebody go in and out. Nobody entered, but you want to see like a room. There was a mess. The mattress was slid off the bed. The pillows were everywhere. It was as if somebody just destroyed the room on purpose. And again, we were told that the reason that happened is because we did not say goodbye to the Ouija board. There was a golden rule. Somebody told us later on, well, did you tell it goodbye? Like, no, why would we say goodbye? It's like, if you ever take your hands off it, you got to say goodbye or else. And I think I found the or else. So that was 1999 summer. Can't explain that one either. So those are my two ghost stories.
I think the first one was kind of far fetched.
Yeah.
It made no sense. There was a second grader when he was a fifth grader, and he went chasing after him. Why would he chase a random second?
Yeah. Well,
In the tall grass at a cemetery, at an old cemetery. That's far stretched. And if he did dug down, why didn't you just reach him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
Maybe-
you're like a kid. You don't really know.
Yeah, and there's no lights. Okay,
Like,
even
if
then,
you
like,
did-
why are you chasing a random kid?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
And
wouldn't
how
you know your-
far did you have to run to get to
Yeah.
a different cemetery, a different location?
It was in the street though.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
like, still, like, wouldn't you know your fat?
Yeah, no, damn. I don't know. And him to count 20 seconds and turn around and see somebody else facing away.
Yeah, no,
A second grader, him chasing him. I don't know. The second story, okay, that one I liked. Obviously, I think it's real. The Ouija board,
yeah,
come on,
'cause
the Ouija board. There's a lot
it
of
always
scary
always
stories.
happens.
As for everything, the goodbye and all that, the goodbye, okay, maybe kind of iffy. You have to say goodbye to somebody you summoned. Yeah, I get it. But for him, for it to be like all over the place,
Exactly.
come on, in 5 minutes. How can somebody do all that in 5 minutes?
Well,
Like, it's not
well-
someone.
Okay, how can something do that in 5 minutes? The bed was off the mattress or whatever. The TV was gonna fall. Clothes was everywhere. How did they not hear none of that? If they could see it, why couldn't they hear it? That one was kind. I like
Well,
it.
it's because they went out of the room, no?
Yeah, but
Yeah, exactly.
like they said, they could see it. They could see into the room. They were in the kitchen and they were in the room. They could see into the room. And I wouldn't doubt it. They can't hear clothes being thrown, drawers being open.
Quiet.
Then, even then, they were going what instead of 5 minutes top.
That's a lot. That's a lot if you think about it.
No, it is.
I mean, yeah, but a ghost. Do you think you can do all that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know. I believe the Ouija board. I believe that demons are actually there. They actually come out of there. But that they stay out, it's a different story, and that they mess with you like that, it's a different story. I don't think that. I don't think.
My name is Ernesto Guevara. I'm one of the basketball coaches here at Mission High School. I'm also the Avid 3 and Avid 4 teacher, working on getting kids out to college, passing the TSI, all that kind of good stuff. We're here today to talk about a very interesting subject. Here to talk about some of the experience that I've had with the paranormal activity and some of that spooky stuff that goes bump in the night. Um, I come from a humble family. I come from a family that started off in Raymondville, Texas. When I was little, I was about 5 or 6 years old, maybe a little bit older, 7 or 8. We decided to move to the outskirts of Raymondville, a little town called Lyford, Texas. Lyford's a rural town, and we decided to go post up in a big, probably about 20-acre lot, right? It was just a field that they used for farming and cleared it out. They put a frame home on there, and the home was fairly big. You know, it wasn't small. We did have 2-3 families living in there at one time. There was a big wraparound porch that we all liked to congregate on, and the wraparound porch had older doors, wooden doors, and it had netting that would go around for bugs not to get in. And the house was neat, you know, older home, and unfortunately it's not there anymore. But when we moved there, it was off the expressway. You had to kind of go about 1.5 miles, 2 miles in on a dirt road to get to the home, and then you're looking at about a little 100-yard drive into the driveway, and it was kind of isolated, right? You wouldn't hear much, but at night you could see every star in the universe, and it was beautiful. Well, every Friday my family liked to have bonfires, right? We had a bonfire, and at the same time we barbecue, and we get everybody together, and we celebrate life, celebrate our accomplishments, celebrating being there with one another, right? My cousins are there, my aunts, my tias, my tios, my brothers, you know, all that stuff. And one Friday night, you know, we're out there hanging out, and we have a bonfire going, and we have a barbecue going, and I'm talking to my cousin, and we're just talking about nonsense and things like that. And I asked him, hey, you know, how's this house treating you? My family had already kind of expected to be there a little bit more, and my cousin at the time was already living there. So I'm talking to him, how's the house? How's it treating you? Are there, things that are cool about the house, things like an attic, a basement, nooks and crannies to go hide in. And he had told me, he's like, well, there's a canal about 2 miles away. I've been walking over there, kind of, throwing some rocks in the ditch and, in the water and stuff. And when I come back, it's just me. So he didn't really do much. And I said, okay, well, we're looking to stay here for a couple months, and I'm going to be hanging out with you a little bit more. And he said, okay, that's great. We can, my room's over here and all this stuff. Well, later on that night, we come back inside. Parents are still outside doing their thing. And my cousin kind of wanted to give me a heads up. He said, hey, I need you to be aware of a couple things. The house, we're not the first people to live in the house. And I said, how do you know that? He said, oh, well, little things around. The house was there before we got there, and there's still evidence of the previous family there. So I start to, get some alarms raised up. I said, what do you mean they're still there? Oh, you'll find out. Just, don't be too scared. When you're in here, go to sleep. When you are, when your mind starts to race, just kind of take some deep breaths and go to sleep, right? So the next day, on a Saturday, we decide to have a family movie night. We decide to congregate there in the living room, right? Well, one of the warnings that my cousin had gave me the night before was, whatever you do, don't cover your ears. Whatever you do, don't cover your face, don't cover your ears. Just drown out whatever it is that you hear and go to sleep. So I had remembered that. And the next day, we decided to watch a Stephen King movie. And if you don't know Stephen King, very, very scary stuff, especially for a young kid. We watched a movie called The Night Flyer. I still remember it to this day. Once the movie was over, obviously a little bit of fear still left over from the movie, and I start to notice one by one all my family members are going to sleep, right? My mom knocks out. I'm on the same couch as my mom, right? We're together asleep. My brother's on another couch with my other cousin. My cousin Manuel, the one I had been talking about, was on the floor right next to me, right? My Theo spread out. My dad wasn't there. He was, working air traffic control, all that stuff. Well, I'm starting to notice my mom falls asleep, my cousin falls asleep, my uncles are asleep now, my brother's asleep, and one by one that the house just gets darker, right? Everybody's goes into their nocturnal slumber that we love so much, and I realize that I'm now alone, right? People are around, but I'm now alone because I'm the only one awake. And I started to replay in my cousin's words in my head. Whatever you do, don't cover your head. Whatever you do, don't cover your ears. Don't cover your face, right? But it's like pulling teeth for me. I roll over. I kind of put the covers on my head here, around my temples, right? Not really around my ears, but as the cover goes around, I start to drift away, and it was just like a slap in the face from the restroom on the other side of the wall. And my cousin had told me there's some kids that play. There's some kids that play. I'm like, nobody's here. But in that moment, those knocks were so loud, my heart dropped, started racing. I woke up my mom. Mom, do you hear it? Do you hear it? What are you talking about? Go back to sleep. Right? Mom, I promise I heard knockings loud. How do you not hear that? Go to sleep. You're gonna wake everybody up. Everybody's gonna be mad at you. Just don't listen. Cover your ears. The one thing they tell me not to do is the one thing my mom's telling me to do. So 5 minutes later, right, she drifts back off to sleep. And again, a little bit of giggling behind it. I was terrified. I went from being on the couch with my mom, I dropped on the floor with my cousin because he was the only one who knew about this. He was the one who had experienced it before. So I went down with him, I got under the covers with him, and just slowly drifted away. So to this day, I don't know what was going on. I don't know if there were children that passed away at that house. I don't know if there was a family who had, maybe there was carbon monoxide poisoning because they had to run a generator. But I can still hear those kids' knocks on that wall as loud as can be. And that's my story.
I believe it because it's a field.
Yeah.
A lot of scary stuff in those 28.
It was just the cousin.
The cousin was on the floor sleeping.
Yeah.
He could have just been tapping something. Like, I don't know.
He heard it on the wall. I don't think it could be a cousin.
You think so?
Maybe the dad, if anything, because he wasn't there.
Well,
Yeah.
I believe he would have seen him.
First mistake was you hear about something scary and then you watch something scary. Obviously, you're gonna be in your head.
Yeah.
Like, why you could be imagining things. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're really scared, when you're in that position, you like.
He did
think
just
about it.
get done watching a movie.
Exactly. Like.
But then again, it is a house in 20 acres of field, away from
Yeah.
the population, away from everybody.
There can't be anything else.
And
Burgers,
and the previous owners, they could have been weirdos. Not saying that they could have been, and they were probably into some stuff, and maybe that's why there's kids giggly running around the house.
But it is an old house, like you know.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like old houses have more.
But it creaks because it's old. Like.
Well,
It wasn't a
then-
creek. He said it was like
It's a
a
knock.
slap.
Like that could have been wind. That could have been anything.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's all right then. I don't know. I think
I believe that.
I believe.
I was like,
I believe.
I'm like I was more immersed to it because like it's possible and like
Mhm.
it's possible because they were weird.
And I wonder if he was gonna stay there a couple months, right? He said.
Yeah.
Did he just hear one day, or the constant? Whose story seemed more like, more true, more like more?
His.
You believe it?
I
no, I
believe
thought
it.
the lady with the red nose.
Oh yeah, the hospital one.
Yes, because she's
No.
been here for so long.
I-
She said she wasn't a believer, so
I think. Oh, that is sad. She
I-
did say she
I
didn't believe.
believe non-believers.
So why
Why would they
yeah,
lie? No
exactly.
sense.
But okay, I could say I'm a non-believer, and I could make.
But why would she lie about that though?
We're okay. Maybe we're not saying we're lying. Okay, we should not say we're lying. They're lying, but I think their story is kind of far stretched, and they're thinking
They were
it-
kids. Usually, they were kids in their stories. Like they weren't fully
the
adult.
one that
You
I
have
like.
the imagination.
The one that I liked a lot was the one about the Ouija board.
Oh yeah.
I love that story. That one actually seemed real and seemed like
Not fake.
not fake at all. I mean, it's a story about a
Wait,
Ouija board that everybody knows has demons, summons demons, does everything with demons. So why wouldn't it not be real? It's
Yeah.
quite literally known to
To be
call
scared.
upon
Yeah.
devils and all that.
the one I liked was the theater one because I've been in theater and like everything she said, it can't happen with if there was a person there. It's
Yeah, I guess. Well, this is the end of Talkin Talons. My name is Sebastian.
My name is Noe.
Now, Susie.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye bye.